Hey guys, and welcome back to Deku Tarot and to your weekly tarot reading and astrology for April 27th through May 2nd of 2020. Last week of April, we're in Taurus season. I have my George Costanza candle here, my Lamb of God Costanza here that I got for my birthday. 2020, it was supposed to be the summer of George. So I put that up here just for the astrology half. I'll probably take it away when we get into the readings just because I don't want to waste any bit of this. I love this. And I did get it for my birthday this past week. So happy birthday to all Tauruses celebrating as well. Let's get into your astrology here. If you haven't, do make sure to subscribe. Do make sure to share the videos if you enjoyed it. And check out your readings for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus. If you want to book a private reading, all my info is below. And I am taking 20% off during this pandemic time. And I'll talk a little bit about the astrology analysis through Truly Divine and how you can get 30% off at the end, okay? So let's get into this here with the astrology, all right? Monday, April 27th, we're starting off the week with the moon in Cancer. You also have Mercury moving into Taurus, which is pretty big here. So that's going to bring about a lot more prudent, methodical, practical thinking and execution. We're going to be a lot more tenacious, unlikely to change our mind and where we're directing our energy at this time. We're going to be taking our time to establish conclusions and judgments with Mercury in Taurus because it does bring up this more dogmaticism, this slow, silent processes that are going to be a lot more common in terms of making a decision, changing direction, in terms of, again, where we're directing our energy in general here. So judgments formed during this time will probably end up sticking and not changing. On Tuesday, April 28th, we have a couple of things here, mostly small stuff until Wednesday. Sun in Taurus sextiling the moon in Cancer, bringing up equality and ability to deal well with all. We're going to be feeling at home and looking towards friends and family for any support or help at this time. We also have Mercury in Taurus squaring Saturn in Aquarius, bringing up some more quarrelsome, greedy, and suspicious energies. Wednesday, April 29th, which is going to be pretty big here, we do have Saturn retrograding beginning on Capricorn. I feel like I said that super weird. Saturn retrograde begins on Capricorn. All right. I feel like you can't say it right anyway. Anyways, delays resulting in your long-term plans. Fear of failure might come up here, and this more self-deprecation, provoking a lot of self-punishment. So watch out for that while Saturn's retrograding in Capricorn at this time. I'm not sure exactly when that ends. For some reason, I didn't write it down. I do apologize. So let's move on now here. We also have the moon in Cancer on that same day, opposite Pluto in Capricorn, bringing up more one-sided views of emotions, feeling dejected, and having more addictions to pleasure and self-indulgence as a reaction. We also have the moon in Leo opposite Saturn and Aquarius on this day, bringing again this dissatisfied, introverted, more depressed, and low energy due to perceived restrictions here. So Wednesday could be a little bit Thursday, April 30th, we have the moon in Leo squaring Mercury in Taurus here, so spiritual gifts are going to be in focus here, and we're going to be less superficial and hasty. We also have the moon in Leo squaring Uranus in Taurus, which is going to bring up eccentric, headstrong, capricious, intense energy here. Could also bring up some derailments of relationships, so watch out for that. We also have Mercury in Taurus conjuncting Uranus in Taurus, so both of them being in Taurus, it's going to make us more progressive, unconventional, creative, inventive, and intuitive here. It's going to bring up this more adaptability and agile mindset, which is interesting for all this Taurus energy, but Uranus and Taurus really brings in that opposite again, adaptable, non-traditional energy. So we're going to be ignoring the traditional here. And that's pretty much all the big stuff going on this week in terms of astrology. So from here forward, we're going to be talking the tarot for the week, all right? All right, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. We're using the Game of Thrones tarot, and we are going to look at your week ahead, Geminis. And actually, before I get into this, I just have a funny little story here that I'm realizing I forgot to mention in the rest of the weeklies. For my birthday, my mother sent me this, and I was like, oh, this has got to be like something to wrap my cards in or something. So yeah. Some of you guys might recognize this, though, because it's from Guy Fieri's restaurant. My mom stole it. She stole a napkin from Guy Fieri's restaurant and sent it to me for my birthday. So I could have a napkin from Flavor Town to wrap my cards in. So You guys are wondering why it looks like I have a giant napkin behind me. It's because I do. So let's get into this, Geminis. All right, I just thought that was funny, and I'm realizing I didn't tell any of the other signs that I've read for yet that. I might have to do a little post about it somewhere or mention it even in the next weekly. So let's see. Ooh. Okay, let's look at career. You guys are feeling quite a bit this week. We're feeling it. If you paid attention to the astrology at the beginning, I'm sure it's going to sound familiar. Ooh. One more here. Ooh, I like this. The High Priestess has been making quite the rounds here this week. And she is your guidance this week, your advice. So do make sure to listen to your higher self, that energy that's within you, the more inner pushes, whatever you do want to call it, whatever's pushing you from the inside, your inner feelings. If you're getting certain inklings, certain things coming through, pay attention. And if you're looking and seeking out answers, direction, you have it. You just need to pause, listen really, really hard here to the intuition that's coming through and your more emotional pushes here. So your overall theme of the week here, though, is Chariot, things moving forward and progressing, bringing the tension of opposites together to kind of bring a forward moving force here is what the Chariot talks about. Now, there's triumphant victory over any type of opposing forces as well. Although in some ways, and I feel that this is more in your way today, I'm getting more of a sense of there's opposing forces going on, things that we want and things that we would like to be doing that might not be in the same lane, not going the same way at this time because of, you know, the global situation possibly or whatever it is. Certain things are not coming into alignment that we would like to have in alignment, and they might actually have a lot to do with each other. So it's the tension between them. It's the tension of these opposing forces, of these opposite needs, desires, and directions that actually has us pushing forward here. We just have to gather our strength and, you know, kind of direct it here, direct these opposing things into one direction. And how can we bring these things together? Okay. How can we work with the tension of opposites to push this whole thing forward? And that's kind of what I get here for you guys this week. So things will progress, but it's kind of working our way through it. And the way you guys are feeling, you're going to be feeling a bit low this week. Let's be honest here. 5 of Cups is there with the 2 of Pentacles after that, and the 3 of Cups reversed. So we see Sansa here looking at, you know, I think this is supposed to be Sansa, right? No, I think it's Cersei. I'm so sorry. I have terrible eyesight. I thought she had long hair in this. That's Cersei, and obviously I think it's supposed to be after one of her, I mean, spoilers if you've never read or watched Game of Thrones, but it's supposed to be, I think, after one of her kids dies, probably Joffrey or, I don't know, her hair looks short here, so maybe before that. I don't know. Anyways, doesn't matter as much. Regardless, we're mourning a loss here. We're mourning something that we have, that we can no longer have, and we're not really paying attention to what we do have at this time, which is 2 cups that are up. We're looking at these 3 cups that are spilled over and crying and lamenting over it, and looking at all the things that we can't control, the things that we can't have, the things that didn't turn out the way we wanted them to, and feeling the emotional loss and abandonment of them. For some of you, you could be feeling a little bit abandoned, a little bit alone, and really missing certain aspects of other people in your life. We could be missing them, missing other people, you know, just communicating, having a good time. 2 of Pentacles shows things in flux, that we're needing to kind of juggle these feelings here. And 3 of Cups reversed, it feels like we're not having a lot of fun. I mean, we do see 3 cups down already, and we see those 3 cups down here again. So we're not having fun with this situation this week. It feels like you guys are in this position where if you do want to have fun, it's more of like this indulgence because you're sad and you're down. So watch out for that. Watch out for any self-indulgence and, you know, addictions to those kinds of things, drinking too much, eating too much, doing something that, you know, overeating when we're sad and because we're bored or whatever. It's needing to not replace our emotions with these physical things that are not good, but actually work through them and juggle them in a more actual way here rather than just spending a bunch of money on, you know, drugs, alcohol, whatever this might be, food, and letting it get the better of us because we're feeling down. So don't get into that kind of place there, or try not to. You can work your way through this, feel your way through this, maybe write your way through this if you need to. Career is Nine of Swords, which just to me signifies that whatever issues that you're having right now, it might feel like things are a nightmare, like they're very difficult. It's really frustrating. How are we going to get through this? Why is this happening? You might be feeling really frustrated. You could also, let me get one more on this, because Nine of Swords is a low feeling. But for me, it is all in your head, is what you need to remember here. It's all in your head. It might seem like the darkest hour, but we can actually get out of this if we stop looking at it this way. Yeah, take things slower. Get yourself grounded in the present, little air signs here, okay? It's Taurus season. It's fixed earth. It's time to get grounded, and that's going to be what makes you feel better. Take things slower. The Hierophant always has a longer term plan. They have the highest knowledge. They have actual material knowledge, okay? Like Varus does. He has a bunch of people that tell him a bunch of things that he knows are true because they've seen them and they know what's going on. He also has a long-term plan ahead of him and a lot of wise energy from all of his experience in life. So he's always going to make the wisest decision for the long term. So remember that, and remember that whatever's happening right now is a lot bigger than how it feels right at this moment. So don't let your emotions, your fears get the best of you right now. Your anxiety, your worry of not being good enough, of this is going to happen. The Hierophant knows better and is more intelligent, more pragmatic, more intelligent, and I don't know. He's just a lot more grounded in this situation that you guys are in, obviously, right now. So be grounded. Get yourself grounded if that involves getting outside, working out. Sometimes that really helps me. Maybe it's an earth sign thing. I don't know. Queen of Cups here is in your relationships and love. So in terms of relationships, we can be feeling very empathic with each other. She has this kind of like floating cup here in the bushes above her, Sansa here, who's praying. And she always wants, true love, emotion. She really wants to connect with people. She wants to find her true love. And that's really how, the series starts out. And of course, she changes and grows because of it. But she knows that, real love is meant for her, and she's not going to, hold herself to anyone or anything that gives her less than that. She also has a lot of empathy and feels for others, understands others' situations, can really determine what's going on below the surface of people's emotions. So emotionally, we're feeling very empathic. We are starting the week off with Moon in Cancer, so that's bringing this more homey, lovey kind of Queen of Cups feeling here. And she's also very intuitive and deals with the emotional and intuition here. Again, with that High Priestess, which is, again, your guidance here for the week. So, really look here in terms of, look to empathy, to relate to others, to understand others, and to communicate better, to work your way through this year. Empathic kind of energy, feel what others are feeling, try to understand them from their perspective. And also, if you do need help and you need a little bit of emotional guidance and support, talk to somebody that makes you feel that way, that reminds you that you actually are able to look at this from a different way, a more grounded position, and get through this. Somebody that, can help nurture and love you this week. There's a lot of nurturing, loving, empathy kind of energy this week in terms of your emotions. And the High Priestess divines the right answers through her intuition. She can see things again in that bigger picture. And a lot like, I think it was Sagittarius, actually, your opposite sign. You guys have both the High Priestess and the Hierophant in your reading. And that's a great big slab of spiritual this week. If you paid attention to the astrology in the beginning, we shouldn't be too surprised. There's a lot of spiritual growth and relying on the intuitive this week. So focus in those areas and they will not disappoint you. Let's pull a Lynn V. Andrews Power Deck. I think I just want to pull one of these today, or for this week here. We might pull another, but we might just leave it with this. For Gemini. Ooh, come on, guys. Are you serious? Ooh, all right. I'm going to go with this one here. Feminine. The world is bereft of feminine consciousness. To bring Mother Earth back into balance, we must bring back our awareness of her. Language is a barrier between us, but woman has always communed with woman in unspoken language. Her roots are entwined with the essence of Mother Earth, for she too is feminine. Woman is the keeper of the planet and must not let her energy be rerouted by the male systems within man or woman. We are all in need of world harmony. Mother Earth has been misunderstood, but she is the universe. She is the womb for all that lives. Feminine consciousness is that energy that embodies the wisdom you need at this moment. So, beautiful messages there. Again, feminine consciousness embodies the energy that you need at this moment. And that is exactly the Queen of Wands and the High Priestess here, Melisandre Sansa here. Feminine consciousness, feminine energy here is really what you're stepping into, this more loving, empathic, and open-hearted, open-minded energy here. So, anyways, Gemini, I hope you enjoyed it. Do check out your weeklies for your other placements, especially your rising. And thank you guys so much for all of your support. Do make sure to subscribe, share the video. If you want to book a private reading, guys, all of that information is always right below in my description box. And again, I'm taking 20% off of all of my readings right now, just to help out during this whole pandemic global situation. Do check out Truly Divine. They are an incredible astrology and numerology service. They do analysis just for yourself, for your life path number. They also do compatibility analysis for numerology as well as astrology. And the astrology one was just like, I mean, they were both incredible, but I still am going back and reading it. I started rereading my own astrology analysis this past week again, and it's just incredible. So do check them out, guys. You can get 30% off with my code Deku30. You can use it as many times as you want. You don't just have to use it once. You can give it to as many friends. They can use it. So do take advantage of that. They're the best astrology and numerology analysis system I've ever used, and I get readings and I've had analysis done by people in person for astrology and numerology, and they just blow them all out of the water. So definitely check out their services. I'm really impressed by them, and I'm really happy I get to work with them. So check that out, guys. Make sure to subscribe, and have a wonderful and blessed week. Alrighty. Namaste.